Off top of here, a sailor boy stands, seizing the spokes with his cold midden hands, thinking of his mother, and he hopes she is well, and I wish that you would hurry up and strike the bell. Trailer loaded, random loaded, SCP loaded. I think we're good to go. Just about. Greetings in chat. Okay, sure. This will be an interesting stream as I'm expanded certain digital assistance capabilities. How well that will go in practice, we'll be seeing for the first time today! Yay. Greetings in chat, Mina the Wild Mongoose. For those of you early arrivals, we'll be raffling off Diamond Ex Machina, or Demon versus Machine. A very anime mech battler. But you can see for yourselves when we get around to the trailer. Greetings in chat, Snoopy S100 and Nexus Hunter. The monitor responsibility covering chat from YouTube? I'm not sure what you're referring to at all. So I'm guessing I haven't, at least. I'm expecting greater censorship from all angles, so I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube is getting in on an incredibly stupid game. Oh, right. I haven't finished putting out promotionals. Anything. At all, really. It was rather distractible. Happy as a sky when you shipped aboard a whale, when she rolling home. Main motto is to keep the chat clean and safe space around her. Well, feel free to ignore any of their warnings on this point. This is not a safe space, you're all in terrible danger, and I suspect you should just embrace it. If you are somehow threatened by words. As for cleanliness, I'm only concerned with myself. You're on your own. Do whatever the fuck you like, word-wise. Sparingly healing. You know, salt really. Too much salt is bad. As far as I'm concerned, yes. Let's see. I've got one last thing I need to get the promotional link for. Greetings in chat. Okay, show. And greetings, chat. Okay, sure. Possibly also greetings to K. Shaw. Thank you. Greetings, chat. Bishop. Okay. That's a very weird favorite phrase. Still, you're welcome to it. I don't have to vouch for anyone's taste. Perhaps YouTube senses my spirit of non-compliance. They surely know I don't give a shit. So perhaps they're just really hoping you will. Indeed, this is a free speech zone. Most unsafe. Very dangerous, really. Again, if you are easily damaged by the stray flippant word. Tangentially, while I do have a first SCP chosen, there will definitely be room for SCP choosing afterwards, as this isn't a very long one. It's a new one, and I quite like it. Oh, yes, please tell me what to enter the raffle, tagging me ideally, if you don't know that. And provided you win, I just need a means by which to send you the key. Discord would be easiest, especially if you're a member of the Arclab's Volunteer Reserve Discord server, which I believe you are. That should make it pretty easy to find me. It's my server after all. And then I can just send you the key that way, or alternatively, if you're using Twitter, then DM me or something, I guess. Where else should I promote this today? You know, I'm on a new server. I suppose I could see if they'd be interested in seeing things. Well, certainly, I'm not about to insist that anyone join any social media or network group, especially not Facebook, where I have no presence whatsoever. Zuckerberg does not even tangentially have any claims whatsoever on my internal organs, and I'm sure he won't exercise his claim on yours. Probably. While he does not yet rule the world, and I really don't think he will. There's a huge glut of competition for that particular position, and I really don't think he has what it takes. Hopefully none of them do. No, I'm not going to criticize you. I know a lot of people have gone on for a lot of reasons that I'm sure were very valid at the time, or at least I thought they were. Hopefully you can find your Discord account, and I can send you the key there. I'm pretty sure you've been on the server before, haven't you? Well, we are 50 minutes from live, and aside of the SCP file, I'm thinking things are inevitably going to get a bit strange. I thought you were already on the server, meaning the Warmongers. Well, let me see if I can... If someone is inclined to do me a favor and post the invite link to chat, that would be appreciated. Anyone who's watching the stream right now would be perfectly welcome on the Archer Labs Volunteer Reserve Discord server. I could be mistaken, near the one mongoose, but I'm almost certain that you showed up to eavesdrop on a few games we were playing once. Or was it a movie? I could very much be mistaken. I don't think I actually spoke, but I believe you were listening. If I've confused you with someone else, that's embarrassing. Sorry about that. Must have been someone else with an M name. M names, huh? My memory is getting better, you know. That's usually not the typical route. But it is. Quick shout out to Methylene Blue. Guess I'm mistaken. Has anyone posted the invite to the Archer Labs Volunteer Reserve Discord server? I would. But it's multiple steps, and we're too close to showtime, so I'm nervous about it. Oh, I shouldn't accept my own excuses. Stand by. Oh, right. I haven't finished promoting. Okay, I'll finish promoting first, and then. Rolling home, rolling home. That's just the refrain. I imagine you preferred that if I at least one of the verses. Here's the good old rum, mop it down, mop it down. Here's the good old rum, mop it down, mop it down. Here's the good old rum that makes you deaf and dumb. Here's the good old rum, mop it down, rolling home, rolling home, rolling home, rolling home, by the light of the silvery moon. Happy is the sailor who has shipped aboard a whaler and is rolling, 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 rolling home. Oh, jeez. Unfamiliar with Team 17? I will not ask. I didn't ask. Like, you set out to ask, long story, and if, actually, that's the reason. That's not a very long story. I think fetch game, very short, one sentence. If that's a long story. Well done. There's something at me in general that I did not notice prior. Well, nevertheless. Link copied. Minutes from live. I'm very tired, I have a slight headache, and I'm simultaneously very caffeinated. One of the reasons why this will probably get a bit weird. No, I do not inspect the code. Let's try that again. You will note in chat is the link to the Arctic Labs Voluntary Reserve Discord server, which again is the most reliable way to know when I'm live anywhere, typically. While I've done this, I observe we're up to 3 likes. Please be aware your every like helps shield me against despair. And the invite link was just posted. How are you not seeing it? It's directly above your message just now. There we go. It better have. Because if it hasn't, I have clearly started hallucinating most thoroughly. I don't think you need to be worried personally. 8 minutes from live. Well, I suppose we need to fill this dead space with some small talk. How about this weather, huh? It's been better, and it's been worse. Indeed. The weather. It's just so weathery. And consistently changing. This weather of ours. I blame climate change. Because it is changing. It always changes. We used to know this by certain other terms that no one was really scared of, like summer and winter. Additionally, spring or fall. Fall being perhaps my absolute favorite, although it is a bit of a tie with winter. Generally, the darker and colder the better. Indeed, 3 likes. 10 more, and we're doing great. I'm with you, Keishro. Autumn all the time would suit me personally perfectly. I don't think that's what they mean by stopping climate change, though. And whatever they do mean, let's hope they never achieve it. We are 6 minutes from live. Well, yes, Snoopy700, that's why they changed it from global warming to climate change. Global warming was too specific. Plus, they needed to change the term because they used that several times saying that we'd all be underwater. Or frozen, underwater because of polar ice caps melting, and then when that didn't happen, they couldn't keep using that term anymore because they remind you about all the times you heard it prior and nothing happened. So now you've got climate change, which they'll keep using until a decade or 3 go by, and then they change the term again so that people will hopefully forget all the previous completely pointless doomsday prophecies. I know about you, but nuclear world war is far more concern to me than the weather. Pretty sure we might be able to adapt to the weather. I don't think we're quite up for adapting to being exploded. You won't be able to hear her, but I do need to check. 58, we're about to go live with the SCP read. Are you ready? "58, no, you're not supposed to greet them yet. I said we're about to go live. We're not live yet. I will let you know when we're live, then you greet them. Understand?" "58. "58, we're not live yet. I will tell you when we're live at 58. When I tell you we are live, then greet the audience. Not yet." Very, very good then. It's just, well, you couldn't hear that yet. Oh, and I should apologize. It's going to be awkward because she's using 2 different voices. Because she's in shards. Which should be a net positive. Should be. And last the dead men are marching again. Greetings in chat, you're wrong. Well then, I'm sorry, I simply cannot lower my standards to appease anyone on this point. You're just going to have to deal with it, I suppose. Then you are in the right place, Eric Pug. Welcome. I would think by now it's fairly obvious that any appearance of professionalism and expertise from my end is clearly a self-parodical joke. Okay, I think it's time. We're live, 58. Please greet the audience.
Welcome to the SCP Read with Director Arcater, and I am your supremely intelligent co-host, 58,008. Let the madness begin.
Thank you, 58. Thank you for...
You're welcome, Director. Now, let's not forget why we're here.
I was in no danger of it, thank you. Greetings, everyone.
User Director Arcater. There's a lively debate about climate with Snoopy SN and Mina the Wild Mongoose discussing weather patterns and global warming. Mina the Wild Mongoose also shared their Discord username. Eric Pug and You're Wrong are enjoying the entertainment vibe.
Thank you. And welcome indeed to the SCP Read. Potentially a bit review-ish, but not quite so much, for being quite honest. Right, we're starting off with SCP-7026, a shoe that explodes you, which, despite being a very high number and therefore very new, is such an excellent callback and in the vein of original, concise, quality SCPs. Especially for being safe while clearly demonstrating that safe is not safe. As in, definitely not safe to use, but safe if you just leave it the hell alone, you simpletons. Not you, the people who insist upon using the safe things that are very, very, very not safe. I believe I've greeted everyone in chat, and if I haven't, whoopsie doodles, you should probably let me know in chat so I can try that again. Right. No, you can get your laundry done, provided you can listen to it while working, I guess. Watching this particular stream is a bit optional, really. My appearance here is basically flavor. All the really fun stuff happens in audio, I would suppose. Unless you just happen to like my face, I guess. No kind of taste. Yes, I do remember the pumped up kicks. I think I owned a pair once. They really didn't last very long, and the entire concept was questionable at best, but absolute catnip to a cool-seeking kid. Well, moving on. We are raffling off a copy of Daemon Ex Machina. I'll play the trailer for that after the first SCP file, after which I don't really have a second one. So you might want to pick a number if you would like me to read something of your choice. I do reserve the right, of course, not to read it if we've done it before, but I might do it anyway because I'm nice like that, I guess. If I forgot to say so, greetings again, Paul Farrell, and onwards with the SCP file. I would ask, yes, you missed nothing, Mina the Mongoose. I remember the one pair I had, and disappointment. Disappointment was the lesson. That things do not quite always work out as they appear on TV, and that quality was already on a huge decline. Right, SCP-7026, Object Class Safe. Correctly labeled Safe, which does not mean harmless. Special containment procedures, SCP-70261 and SCP-70262 are to be held in separate glass containers, both 35 by 14 by 14 centimeters in size. Both glass cases are to be held in separate storage lockers at Site-64. Contact with either instance of SCP-7026 is prohibited. Description. SCP-7026 is a pair of brown leather shoes measuring 28.5 centimeters in length and 9 centimeters in width, weighing 1.8 kilograms. Shoe size and brand are not listed. SCP-70261 is the left shoe and SCP-70262 is the right shoe. Both are indistinguishable from each other, save for their intended foot. They both have the same anomalous properties. While stationary, both instances of SCP-7026 exhibit no anomalous or adverse properties, nor when the shoes are put on. However, when either is traveling at a speed of 2.5 kilometers per hour or more, the shoe will continue to travel at that speed until it strikes an object, negating air resistance but still affected by gravity. If, while traveling 22.5 kilometers per hour, the shoe strikes a non-human object, including plants and non-human animals, nothing out of the ordinary will happen. Which is good for them. However, if the shoe were to strike a human, henceforth referred to as the subject, it will stick to their body, unable to be removed no matter how much pressure is applied. Subject will start feeling immediate searing pain where the shoe is connected. After 10 seconds of being attached to a person, SCP-7026 will begin to melt away clothes, skin, tissue, and bone, moving throughout the body until it's reached the center chest cavity of the subject. Subject will not die no matter how many vital organs are damaged during this process, however, will be in extreme, unbearable pain. Once SCP-7026 has reached the center of the subject, the melting tissue will stop, and cell production within the body will increase by 200% until the shoe has been sealed inside the subject's body. It will then begin to grow 20% bigger every minute, not stopping until the subject has exploded from the growing shoe. Once the subject has burst, and presumably been allowed to die, the shoe will return to its original size. Any attempts to remove SCP-7026 out of a subject through surgical means after it has begun growing will result in the shoe halting its growth, followed by it sending 3 electrical shocks throughout the subject's body, 3 seconds between each shock. Cell production will rapidly start up again, healing the cut given by the surgeons. The shoe's growth will then start back up again until the subject has exploded. Discovery: SCP-7026 was discovered after Montazer Al-Zaidi, an Iraqi journalist, through both SCP-70261 and SCP-70261-2 at Dr. Jack Bright, who was at the time occupying the body of the United States President George W. Bush while he was at a press conference in Baghdad, Iraq, being accompanied by Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. Dr. Bright ducked out of the way in response to both attacks, leaving him unharmed. Montazer al-Zaidi was tackled to the ground by Nouri al-Maliki's guards and apprehended. The Foundation soon took al-Zaidi in custody to question about his motives and whether or not he was part of any groups of interest that had wanted to harm a Foundation member. Questioning revealed information about SCP-7026. So, basically, this is someone's wet dream about what would have happened if one of the shoes had hit W. And yeah, I can relate to that. It also feels like a bit of character assassination to say that W had been erased and replaced by Dr. Bright. We know that's not true because Dr. Bright is, while classically insane, according to Foundation records, they're not that dumb. W is an idiot. W has always been an idiot. Barely functional. Perhaps the first clearly incompetent puppet president installed prior to the one that was clearly senile. Only, I suppose, he wasn't that bad. After all, he could still follow orders from the actual president of that era, Cheney. I digress. Addendum B. The following is an interview with Mr. Al-Zaidi, conducted by Dr. Lautner. The interview was conducted in Arabic and has since been translated in English. If we had a guest on the stream, they could take that role. I guess it's all me in this case. That's what I get for failing to plan, really. Interviewer, Dr. Elrad Lautner, interviewed Montazer Al-Zaidi, date 12/16/2008. Lautner. Hello, Montazer Al-Zaidi. I've got a few questions that I'd like you to answer. Al-Zaidi. How long will this take? I don't want to be locked up forever. It won't take long, and you won't be locked up if you answer my questions. Al-Zaidi pauses. I guess I could do that. Perfect. For starters, do you know who we are? We're referring to this Foundation. No? Do you know of any organization like us, strange, unusual beings, entities, or objects? Alzheimer pauses to think. I don't think so. None? Not the Global Occult Coalition, the Chaos Insurgency, Marshall, Carter, and Dark, the Serpent's Hand? Wait, that third one? Marshall, Carter, and Dark? I've heard of them. You have? Yeah, they're the ones who sold me those shoes. Sold you the shoes? Yes. Why would Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited sell you shoes? Because those aren't your ordinary shoes. They make people fucking explode. Make people explode? How so? Yeah, well, you throw them at someone, the shoe sticks to them, burrows inside them, and then expands and makes them explode. Lautner quickly writes notes on clipboard. Well, when did you acquire these shoes? Oh, a long time ago, maybe a year or two ago. I've been waiting a while for the right moment. What else do you know about these shoes? The lady who sold them to me said that when they're going fast, they're really dangerous, and even if you're running them and going at the right speed, they'll kill you, or if you're driving at the right speed wearing them, they'll kill you. Did this lady tell you who they're made by? I think so, but I don't remember. Some terrorist organization, probably. She said the shoes were made by them to kill people. They don't set off metal detectors or anything, so you can sneak right in with them in any government building, on a plane, or whatever you want, and kill whoever you want. I'm a journalist. I've seen the atrocities committed against my people. George W. Bush is a criminal mastermind behind all of it. Sorry. The criminal mastermind. Yeah. So it should be so funny, but really blindsided me. Okay. Clearly, I'm reading him far too intelligently. I felt I had to do to him what he's done to so many others. Lautner writes more on his clipboard, then thinks to himself, is that all you need from me? Lautner pauses before speaking. Yes, that should be all. End of log. After the interview, Al-Zaidi was administered Class C amnestics to erase his memories of the interview, as well as memories of SCP-7026 and Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited. Further testing of SCP-7026 confirmed what Al-Zaidi had stated in his interview. Okay, I'm raffling off a game. Here's the trailer for it. You should probably watch the trailer to decide if you want to enter the raffle for the game. And then tag me in chat, ideally, to stress they want this game, and we'll enter the raffle for it. Nexus Hunter is in the raffle. Who else is in the raffle? Very anime, high-speed flying mech combat. I thought Mina was interested, but I could use some confirmation.
User
on that.
Director Arcater. There's nostalgia talk about old sneakers like pump-ups and light-up shoes, with Eric Pug joking about getting a concussion from wheelies. Nexy's Hunter is keen to join, possibly with Mina the Wild Mongoose.
It's been confirmed. Thank you. Say, 58, we just read a SCP about shoes that make people explode if they touch them past a certain speed. What do you think of it? 58. We just read...
58. The SCP read is in full swing. What's next?
Well, actually, I don't know. We're waiting on the audience to choose the next SCP file now that we've gotten 2 people to join the raffle. Speaking of, did anyone have an SCP file number they wanted to, Did Kay shorten the raffle already? I can't recall. I'll try to check the record. It'll give someone more time to potentially request an SCP file. For the first time in quite some time, Casual has been bidding the troll by SP5004 from Snoopy S100. But if time permits, and it should, we're only 15 minutes in, I'll do both. How they're mapples. SCP-5004 coming up. Yes, but we hadn't finished the first SP file, and also I'm not sure ____-J is in fact an actual SP file. So, there. You're just wondering, can one write their own SP? Yes, actually. You can write your own SP file whenever you like. A member of the audience, occasionally by the name of Metro, has written several, put them into some printable out files, and I've gone through those live on stream in the past. If you want your SP file officially added to the wiki, though, you're going to have to apply to the Foundation wiki, jump through a bunch of hoops, join some social networks, possibly blow a troon, and then be added to the wiki. Not necessarily so. But I have to say, I've been somewhat bothered by a lot of the drama I hear about from the Foundation. So it's just SCP-J. Well, still, he timed it wrong. Yes, I was perhaps being a bit overboard there. Unfair, even. It's probably not quite that bad. But I do believe there's a lot of bureaucracy, and it is an entirely volunteer arrangement like Wikipedia, which means it's probably being operated by an alphabet agency besides. Never mind. That said, it's good to have boundaries and to maintain them. That's important. Oh dear. SCP-5004. Containment class makes me very angry. With esoteric. Secondary class, Thaumiel. Disruption class, Aki, and risk class. Notice, which means it's complete nonsense. Oh, and I said we're up to 4 likes, which is great. If I get another 9 or so, this would be a successful stream. Just noting, no pressure or anything. I'll be fine even if that doesn't happen. And I can try to fit an SCP-J. Just a J. Yes, it'll be awkward. Also, incorrectly timed. I did say to have something ready to go by the time we finish the first SCP file. That's correct. But when we finish the first SCP file. So, Snoopy SCP-100 is first, you're second, And then if time still persists after that, I will go for that SCP-J. This feels fair to me, and it's my show, and no one can tell me to do nothing. So there. Yeah, I support everyone writing their own SCP files as they see fit. Right, moving forward, special containment procedures. SCP-5004-A is currently contained by SCP-5004-B under the terms of Protocol 115-ASH. Based on the current understanding conditions of SCP-5004-A, the anomaly should dissipate entirely on January 20th, 2021. 12 p.m. EST. I see where this is going. Due to SCP-5004-B's effect on SCP-5004-A, no other containment procedures are required. Containment mitigation of the global geopolitical effects, both anomalous and mundane, of SCP-5004-B are managed by the Department of International Affairs, the Records and Information Security Administration, and the Department of Information Control and Suppression, the Department of Applied Influence, the Department of Analytics, the Department of Stringent Analysis, the North American Site Directors Council, the European Site Directors Council, the East Asian Site Directors Council, the South American Site Directors Council, West Regional Command, the Classification Committee, the Containment Committee, the Ethics Committee, and Overwatch Command. Direct assessment and analysis of the ongoing SCP-5004 information control effort is under the express jurisdiction of the Special Committee regarding Robert Mueller's investigation. This committee replaced the Letterman Commission and subsequent Project Whirlwind that developed Protocol 115-ASH. The current acting leadership of this committee is as follows. This could take a while. Position, Committee Lead. Name, Director Sophia Light. Title, Director, Western Regional Command. Assistant Lead, Dr. Mark Curio, Senior Research. Psychology Console, Dr. Simon Glass, Head, Foundation Psychology. Research Consult, Dr. Charles Gears, Head, Foundation Analytics. Thaumaturgical Consult, Dr. Catherine Sinclair, Director, Thaumatology and Occult Studies, Site 87. Containment Consult, Dr. Hollister Cox, Assistant Director, Site 81. General Consult, Director Lachlan Cairns, Head, Foundation Personnel. Tactical Consultants, Agent Sarsha Marlowe and Agent Daniel Navarro. Group of Interest Liaison, Dr. Justin Everwood, GOI Specialist. Special Liaison to the FBI, Agent Carmen Maldonado, Unusual Incidents Unit. Additional details regarding the conditions of Protocol 115-ASH and SCP-5004-B information control efforts are available elsewhere in this document. Description: SCP-5004 is a group designation for anomalous phenomena affecting the executive branch of the United States government. Oh, no, Stupius 100. You've made no mistake. I'm certain this will be hilarious. I'm finding it very amusing already. Very, very funny indeed. SCP-5004 is a colossal thaumatological entity identified as a Spirit Prime by the Federal Bureau of Investigation Unusual Incidents Unit and self-titled as Old Gorman, which was ritualistically summoned to the material plane by U.S. Supreme Court Justice and noted sorcerer Charles Evans Hughes during the U.S. general election of 1916. The supposed intent of the summoning was to aid Justice Hughes in his campaign against incumbent President Woodrow Wilson. However, this effort was in vain as SCP-5004-A was originally too weak to take any action that would have aided the Republican candidate. After his eventual loss to Wilson, Hughes, either unknowingly or out of spite, altered the conditions of his ritual in such a way that it changed SCP-5004-A's stated intentions, leaving the entity to sleep for 100 years before awakening. SCP-5004-B is United States former President Donald John Trump. SCP-5004-B is a powerful reality sink, negating the anomalous effects of supernatural entities or artifacts near it by altering the way those entities or artifacts interact with the fabric of space-time. This ability appears to be innate to SCP-5004-B's existence as a whole, as individual pieces of SCP-5004-B or parts of SCP-5004-B disconnected from the rest of the entity do not carry the same negating properties. Addendum, Discovery, and Background. The discovery of SCP-5004-B and its applications in the containment of SCP-5004-A came about as a result of an investigation by the Letterman Commission, which itself arose from an investigative thaumatological task force out of Site-87. The task force... Eric Pug, you might be surprised to learn how many figures in history should have had that appended to their resume. Mostly to have kept them out of positions of influence. Alas, that would have really set back the space program, so I have some mixed feelings on it. I do, however, feel that anything Aleister Crowley is remotely associated with is garbage and should be eschewed. Okay, right. Where was I? I'm not very fond of wizards. I've mentioned this before. If any of you have listened to my ranting on the Bocaros and Beasties Discord server, I'm of the opinion that real-life, serious, unironic sorcerers are really silly people, at best, and pseudo-intellectual sophists trying to excuse bad behavior with incredible delusional self-deception in fiction. The task force, headed by Dr. Catherine Sinclair, was assigned to study known occult texts from the early 1900s in order to assess them for information about possible anomalous entities that were not yet known. This effort was part of a greater Foundation-wide initiative to take a more proactive role in the discovery and containment of anomalous entities and artifacts. The report, penned by Dr. Sinclair and entitled An Investigative Study into Cosmological Entities with Potential to Affect the American Federal Government, identified 13 such entities and artifacts. Of those, several could not be accounted for and 3 had been destroyed entirely. The only entity that could not be identified and determined to still be active was the entity called Old Gorman, at the time of discovery inhabiting the western steps of the United States Capitol building under the cover of a sort of dimensionally shifted cocoon. Excerpts from an investigative study into cosmological entities with potential to affect the American federal government. In the second volume of a series of journals penned by United States Supreme Court Justice Charles Evans Hughes in 1916, the Justice describes a meeting he had with a fellow sorcerer, Ames Hammond, a minor financial consultant from New York and fellow member of the Metaphysical Club. Footnote, if I can just get to it. A community of influential wizards, sorcerers, and occultists, thaumatologists in the late 1800s met monthly in Cambridge, Massachusetts. In the meeting, which took place in late 1915, the two men discussed shifting political climates and a desire to see the United States stay out of the war in Europe. Hammond, whose business investments strongly favored the continued existence of the current Austro-Hungarian state, advised that Hughes should accept the Republican nomination, should it fall to him, and that the presidency could be won using sorcery and thaumatological influences. Hughes seems to have been already considering accepting nomination even before this meeting, and the two of them met shortly afterwards with fellow Supreme Court Justice and Metaphysical Club member Oliver Wendell Holmes. Junior Holmes suggested summoning a spiritual familiar to enhance Hughes' perceived charisma, but Hammond was insistent that the more dramatic action was needed. Hughes writes that he and Holmes consulted numerous books of the arcane and occult before finally deciding on a devil from the 11th plane of blasphemy, Infernal Rituals and Incantations, Volume 12, Section 27, to interfere with President Wilson's re-election campaign. The remainder of the journals details steps taken by Hughes, Holmes, and Hammond to prepare for the summoning ceremony which took place at the beginning of the summer in 1916. In Hughes' account, the incantation took place at Holmes' estate in Washington, D.C. In the 4th volume of the journals, Hughes lists the components for the summoning as follows. 3 pieces of cloven hoof, ash from a burned text of incantations, 1 full onion diced, the eyes of 6 frogs, a lost lamb's heart quartered, tears of a maiden, 7 teeth, 6 pieces of silver, 6 pieces of gold, a precious gem. Let's take a look at that. Hughes notes that this was a ruby of some value taken from a bank, but does not elaborate on which bank. Shortly after submitting the entity, Hughes described it in his journal as such. Oh look! Karl Marx! I was wondering where he came from. Right. The beast was like a man, though grotesque in shape and stature. He was no taller than the height of a man's knees, and its face, behind its monstrously filthy beard, Karl Marx, born expression of great displeasure, Karl Marx. It had skin of mottled grey and red, and dull red eyes sat too deeply into its skull, Karl Marx. It emerged from within a cloud of sulphur and smoke on a small squealing steed, swore loudly, and became violent to myself and my compatriots, who were forced to beat it into a corner with brooms. Easily defeated in person, like Karl Marx. Once the brooming had subsided, it announced itself as Gorman. Perhaps it sensed the disappointment in my eyes at its diminutive size and attempted to prove its otherworldly power by producing a terrible stink, like Karl Marx. One like sunburnt feces and bile from its mouth, like Karl Marx. Myself and Oliver commenced to brooming again until it stopped. Hughes quickly realized his error. The entity was barely able to stand upright for more than a few moments, and did not have the strength yet to carry out any sort of violence against the President or his campaign. Frustrated, Hughes claims to have locked Gorman in a wooden box and kept it near his person at all times, where the devil would shout obscenities and propel small sticking flames at the Justice. Old Gorman disappears from Hughes' personal texts until after the election, when he lost handily to the incumbent Wilson. In a quick note left at the end of one journal, he writes, "Feral creature was not worth the effort. He insults me even now, and his words are filthy. He spends all hours of the day talking about latrines and their contents, and he frequently pulls at the hairs of my legs to spite me. I will have the last laugh, however. He is no use to me now, but I have paid the ritual price on his servitude for 100 years. I will bury his essence beneath the steps of the Capitol building, and he will be forced to hear every footfall of that busy thoroughfare every day for a century. Who now cackles in delight, monstrous imp? Of course, it is me! Let this beast forever rule the day of Met Charles Evans Hughes, master of magic and conjurer of spirits!" In the wake of Dr. Sinclair's report, Foundation GOI specialist Dr. Justin Everwood reached out to speak to the current membership of the Metaphysical Club. Notably, the group's numbers had dwindled significantly since the beginning of the 20th century, and only 3 were able to be reached during the investigation. These included United States Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts, Associate Justice Stephen Breyer, and Associate Justice and Grand Arcanist Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who, of course, was a necromancer, or operated by one. The group allowed Dr. Everwood to keep an audio recorder on her during the meeting, though the voices of the justices were altered by seemingly anonymous means. Everwood. "So you're aware of the creature beneath the stairs at the Capitol?" Roberts. "Old Gorman? Yes. Unfortunately, profoundly unpleasant creature, a sort of ancient trickster demon. This club, in many ways, only persisted as long as it has in order to serve as a response to Gorman whenever he awakes from his terrible slumber." What do you mean by saying that's the only reason your group has persisted? "It's been a tumultuous century for order. Things started off strong, but then there were some assassinations in the 40s, followed by the wizard battles of the 60s and 70s. That's when we decided that we should stop putting powerful wizards on the highest court in the country. Through some clever manipulations and modest additional assassinations, we've reduced our numbers to just us 3, and only then because..." Silence! Silence, Jonathan! Ginsburg. That's not my name, and you know that. I said silence! What they are not telling you is that only 3 remaining because they have not yet figured out how to kill me. I, the most powerful and terrible wizard who ever walked about the face of this earth. Yeah, that sounds like Ginsburg. Interesting. Tell me more. She's being dramatic. We haven't been trying to kill her. We've been trying to convince her to please stop casting horrible magic out in public. Your demands are like cage on my prodigious gifts. I cannot be bound by mortal desires. I must fly free like a majestic condor or similar winged beast. Ruth Bader Ginsburg didn't seem to be wearing a seemingly anomalous wizard hat. We're of the same mind as you, Dr. Everwood. It does none of us any favors the idea that magic is real gets out of the public. We're trying to maintain the status quo here, and that is far from beneficial. Justice Ginsburg has other... I'm the goddamn albatross, Jonathan! I cannot be fettered, you mindless inclinations!
User Director Arcater. Chat's buzzing with SCP talk. Mina the Wild Mongoose is eager to create an SCP inspired by Monokuma. Eric Pug humorously updates his resume, and Snoopyzon's enjoying the jokes. Bishop and others are chiming in too.
Thank you for that. And thank you, Mina the Wild Mongoose. She has other ideas about how our talents should be utilized. As John was saying, the only reason there are three of us now is that neither John or myself possess the arcane acumen required to deal with Gorman when he emerges on the foretold day. Only Ruth can handle that, and even then, only maybe. Why maybe? Because Charles Hughes was a fool! He thought he was punching old Gorman by burying his on the steps of the Capitol, but he didn't do nearly enough of the required reading. Old Gorman is a demon, not a devil. He didn't even take the time to ask. If he had, Gorman would have been obligated to tell him that he was only passing through the plane of blasphemy, not leaving there. Like Karl Marx. But why does the difference matter? Think for a moment, ludicrous child. Gorman is a demon, and demons feed on chaos and disorder. Where, pray tell, do you think there exists more chaos and disorder in the world than the United States Capitol building? Silence. Oh, point made. Quite! And all while Gorman has been stewing down there, growing big and strong and increasingly annoying. I've spoken to him in his dreams on several occasions. Yes, he has a foul mouth and is very perturbed to have been given the runaround by Charles Hughes all those years ago. Make no mistake, Whitecoat, Gorman is coming, and on that day he will rise up from beneath the earth in such a great and terrible fury this country, nay, the world itself, will never be the same again. But in that dark hour, who will rise to oppose him but me, the Grand Arcanist of Brooklyn, the Witch of Washington, the Arch-Arcanist of Jurisprudence? I see. Then we shouldn't consider this a problem? No, it is very much a problem. Ruth's solution to the Gorman problem is a public display of power and thunder that only might be enough to rebuke the demon. I know it might be difficult to tell, but she's getting up there in the years, and Gorman has only become more dangerous in time. She's liable to break it. How dangerous are we talking? I don't really know how to say this. Gorman consumes chaos. Spite, resentment, hostility, it's all there. It's not a great place to live in, but for something like Gorman, it might as well be a goddamn all-you-can-eat suckle-teat buffet. Once he's done cooking, when he hatches after 100 years have passed, he's liable to drag all of DC into the sea. You can't see him now, we can only barely perceive him through the wards that Hughes put on him back in 1916, but he's gotten enormous. I hope you can all formulate a plan. Against an archdemon like old Gorman, we're really no match. And if you can't figure it out, you'll have no choice but to unleash me, a being of terror and awe. The world will kneel before the might and magic of the sorcery queen. Ginsburg laughs, sparks up from fingertips. Everyone. Duly noted. Yes, as a reminder, Eric Pug, that once again, one of the great discoveries over time was natural stupidity rather than artificial intelligence. A lot of these outer limbs are dramatically smarter than a lot of people who are dramatically more programmed than 58 ever was. Never mind 58.
Director. The SCP Red has always been unpredictable. Careful, we're not done yet.
Indeed, we're not. Don't ask me. Addendum 50042, the Letterman Commission. Following the revelation of the existence of the entity classified as SCP-5004-A, Foundation Western Regional Command convened to discuss their next move. West Regional Command Director Sophia Light appointed a 7-man commission headed by Containment Committee Director Hans Letterman to assess the situation and devise a workable containment policy moving forward. The report, published by the Letterman Commission in October of 2013, entitled Assessment of the Thaumatological Mega-Entity Old Gorman. I've got to increase the letter size on these. The entity had not yet been classified. All documentation from the Letterman Commission used the entity's assumed name instead of a standard designation. And possible evidence progression detailed newly discovered information about SCP-5004-A, as well as additional information made available by the metaphysical column. No, and we're up to 7 likes. That's a little bit over halfway. With 20 minutes left to go. Though, by the way, this is clearly going to take the rest of the stream, so these case roll, I will try to make a point of saving that number or starting with next time, perhaps. Probably. I do need to go back and paste it. Or, we could... Never mind. The Commission's findings revealed that SCP-5004-A originated from an extraplanar space referred to as Suspira on Chaos and occurred by 18th century Spanish sorcerer Malmaloma, which sounds like a skin cancer. Terrible name. Suspira is described as a realm of chaos and vulgarity, but primarily a home of lesser demons and imps. SCP-5004-A was transported to the baseline universe through thaumatological means by Charles Hughes, who would later use similar means to trap SCP-5004-A in a higher dimension cocoon invisible to the naked eye, but still mildly perceptible to trained occultists. In this state, SCP-5004-A fed on the turmoil of the District of Columbia, ballooning in size and presumably strength. While Hughes' wards and enchantments had kept SCP-5004-A contained, the belief among Foundation thaumatologists was that once free from its original bonds, SCP-5004-A would be too powerful to continue to restrict without a substantial cost in life. The Letterman Commission resolved that the containment of SCP-5004-A was best handled not with thaumatological means, but with anomalous means, noted as another point. Thaumatological means, not thaumatological means, but anomalous means. Thaumatological means are pretty damn anomalous. AI engineers all high-fiving each other over that day. They beat 100 IQ, and then 15 minutes later, it sets in what a low bar it is. Yeah, I was probably haunting an engineer and programmer right now, somewhere. They're probably weeping into their cereal over it. Poor bastards. Right. The existence of a singularly potent reality sink somewhere in the capital could disrupt the pseudo-gestation that Old Gorman is currently undergoing. Once Old Gorman is disconnected from its source of sustenance, it would likely quickly burn through its accumulated energy under the weight of having to exist in the baseline universe. However, in studying rituals and incantations used by Dr. Charles Hughes to bind Old Gorman, it is possible that simply placing it, reality sink in Washington, D.C. would not be sufficient to destabilize the demon. The presence of Old Gorman can be felt in the ideological metastructure of the United States government, as confirmed by our own thaumatologists. It is therefore imperative that the reality sink be itself integrated into the collective conscious of the United States government. This committee recommends that a suitable reality sink be elected to the office of President of the United States. Unfortunately, the technology to create a sufficiently powerful reality sync does not currently exist. The Letterman Commission, along with members of the Department of High Metaphysics, compiled a list of potential options for containing SCP-5004-A, including possible reality sinks that could be utilized for that purpose. The report was sent to SCP Eastern Regional Command, reviewed it, and determined an appropriate course of action. Addendum 50043 SCPF Western Regional Command Meeting Transcript. In attendance, Dr. Sophia Light, Dr. Lachlan Cairns, Dr. Holster Cox, Dr. Kane Pathias Crow, Dr. Justice Everwood, Dr. Catherine Sinclair. I'm not going to bother reading all the titles. I refuse. You can make me. Dr. Light. All right, let's begin. Dr. Everwood, if you would. Dr. Everwood. Thank you, Director. I'm sure you've all read the report. They appreciate what we're doing here. Apparently they've known about this coming for a long time and have just been sitting on it. That said, long and short of it is that the UIU is willing to allow one of its members to sit in on this panel for as long as is needed, if needed, but we are not permitted to tamper in the upcoming election. They said that explicitly? They did. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate? You mean understandable, right? Like, oh no. Oh no, you don't. Don't you not now me, Sophia? I can already sniff the air and smell what you're cooking with this one, and I want nothing to do with it. Those were 4 of the shittiest years of my life, and I'm proud to say I've got nothing to offer you this time. Nada. Good luck. Dr. Light sighs. Yes, all right, yes, fine, Dr. Sinclair. First of all, welcome to Regional Command. Dr. Sinclair. Thank you for having me, Director. What have you got? This entity appears to be what we would describe as a Class 2 demonic entity. They are the most lesser of imps and demons, a step over something like a hateful cloud or a very angry bush. The root of this problem is that the magic that Hughes did to the entity all those years ago has essentially been force-feeding the demon this entire time. It's swollen to a positively grotesque size, like Karl Marx. We've seen this happen before. Usually the entities burn themselves out for the usual damage, but Old Gorman is both angry and located in the middle of the United States seat of government. It's still likely that he wouldn't last too long with all that energy burning through him, but that presents 2 more issues. Those are? Well, the first is that too long may be weak, or maybe 100 years. It's impossible to know until he emerges from the cocoon. The second is that if he burns out too quickly, the outpouring malevolent energy as he becomes critical might literally level the city. Which is what I believe most of us might agree is a net positive. Well, I guess there's a third option as well, where he's able to figure out how to control all that malice in him and just becomes a raging, sadistic, unkillable super entity. None of that sounds great. Kane, any ideas? Ah, yes. Well, my department has done some looking into this and, come on, Crow, out with it. Well, it just can't be done, what you're asking. We can build you a reality anchor, for what it's worth, but if you want to drop a nuclear reactor into the Capitol building, but a reality sink? Those have to occur naturally. There's just not enough power in the world to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Yes, yeah. What's the difference? I thought a sink was an anchor. Not true. A reality anchor is a man-made construct used to stabilize an all-significant region. It doesn't affect the anomaly, just it temporarily masks it until the anchor is removed or depowered. A reality sink is a natural phenomenon, something that exists as sort of black hole for the supernatural. We don't know fully how it works, but we believe in sort of a natural balance system against the spread of the unknown. Anomalies don't simply become in the presence of a sink. They start to lose connection to the fundamental forces that bind them into our universe until they simply disappear. Okay, that doesn't sound that bad. Let's just get one of those and pull some strings and see what happens. It's not that simple. Reality sinks are often subject to extreme forces within their biology. They typically don't last long after becoming reality sinks, succumbing to cancers or mental deterioration. And more than that, Lachlan. A reality sink of the magnitude that the report is asking for can't be more than a dozen in the whole world. Who knows how many are even capable of base-level thinking? Dr. Sinclair, what is your suggestion? Our department has kept tabs on 3 possible candidates. The first is unfortunately a very young person, a preteen child in Omaha. That is a sufficiently powerful reality sink, but of course cannot become president of the United States. The second, yes, the second is also clear. Nope, here's the third. Well, the third is definitely an option. New York businessman, media influence, has showed interest in politics in the past. His person isn't quite as potent as a reality sink as the other two, but doesn't meet all of our criteria. Greetings in chat. Cheer up. Alright, that sounds perfect. Right, what's the issue? Who is it? It's, well... Dr. Ken's, looking over at Dr. Blair's shoulder goes, oh my god, it's Donald fucking Trump. Dr. Ken's begins laughing wildly. Ah! You're serious? Yes, Director, I'm serious. And I'm seriously fucking dying over here. Holy god, shit, this is the greatest fucking day of my life. What a fucking mess. What a goddamn mess. Like, no, you deserve one, Sophia. You all deserve this. The cows have come home to roost for the Western Regional Command, I'll tell you what. I knew this would happen. Every night I would kneel down by my bed and pray to sweet little baby Jesus that he would deliver some sort of misfortune upon all of you that have laid on me for 4 fucking years, Sophia. And guess what? Little baby Jesus was a no-show, but this Gorman fellow sure as shit heard my prayers. Donald fucking Trump. Donald goddamn Trump, he's fucking hilarious. You all are so fucked. You're so fucked. F-U-C-K-E-D. Fucked. Thank you, New Demon Jesus. Thank you for the one thing you've done for me. Go and bless America and go and bless the SCP Foundation. Hallelujah, I'm coming home. Donald Trump, fuck my bright red ass. Are you good? Yeah, sir. I'm good. Thank you. All right. So this is our best option? Our thaumatologist ran our findings past members of the Metaphysical Club. They determined them to be accurate, if not unfortunate. And we're sure this will have the intended effect. This will contain the entity. Yes, it should. Once Gorman leaves his cocoon, he'll have to expend energy to maintain a physical presence on this plane, but he won't be able to do that if he's losing energy to the sink in the Oval Office. He's bound in a very specific sort of way to the presidency specifically. I see. Well, does anyone have anything else to say? I don't watch the news. Who is Donald Trump? You don't watch the news. I'm a dog. There's a lot of material here left. But I will say, going over time, this has been absolutely worth it, Snoopy SN 100. Absolutely worth it. I find it more plausible that the members of the Supreme Court be puppeted by sorcerers, again in Ginsburg's case, a necromancer. But, moving on. SP Foundation entitled Memo from Severe Light Director to Project Whirlwind mailing list. Subject, welcome to Project Whirlwind. If you're receiving this message, it's because you have been selected to become a member of Project Whirlwind. This project currently carries a level 4 classification, and your personal credentials have been...
Arcater. Chat's having fun with SCP tales and jokes about Supreme Court sorcerers. Eric Pug is humorously claiming the noted sorcerer title. Snoopy's likes are climbing, and JTRW just joined the chaos.
Thank you for that, although I believe you already mentioned the sorcerer title being claimed by targets. Just fine. I have a lot of time to burn yet, apparently, so I need to get back to it. Seriously. Your puzzle credentials have been updated to donate this to note this change. Inclusion in this project is mandatory. In late 2012, our occult researchers detected the presence of a massive anomalous entity moving very slowly through space-time beneath the steps of the United States Capitol building. Research uncovered this entity is Old Gorman. Karl Marx. The lesser demon summoned by the United States Supreme Court Justice Charles Hughes in the early 20th century. Due to enchantments placed upon the demon, it has since become massive and uncontrollable, and we expect the entity will emerge from its cocoon in January of 2017. In order to mitigate the effects of this entity on the general public, we have been asked by our occult researcher teams to place a sufficiently powerful reality sink as President of the United States. This will weaken the entity significantly and may keep it from manifesting at all. The only sufficiently powerful reality sink that meets the necessary criteria for use in the containment of Old Gorman is Donald J. Trump, an American businessman. Direct influence of the selection would open us to possible risk, so we need to be smart about this. Our teams will reach out to international intelligence agencies, think tanks, and lobbying groups in order to drum up support for the candidate. Due to the specifics of this candidate in particular, it's likely we'll need to do some work on the disinformation front as well. We recognize there are many of you who are shocked and perhaps appalled at this. Trust me, I sympathize. Unfortunately, we're often required in our duties to do things we are uncomfortable with, and this is no exception. As such, I'm going to require that all of you please keep your unpleasant remarks to yourselves. We just want to roll out Particle Ash, negate the effects of an anomalous entity, and then be done with this. I expect you all to do your duties as professional a manner as you are capable. Maybe it won't be so bad. Thank you, Sophia Light, Director, Western Regional Command. Spoiler alert, it not only wasn't so bad, it was one of the best terms I've ever seen. The second one, well, certainly very much better than the previous. Tangent. But Web 9 likes, which means this might be a success yet. Thank you. Attached responses. Sender, Dan Navarro. Subject, welcome to the project. Body, excuse me, but what? Curio, Dr. M. Subject, respectfully decline. Thank you for your email, Director. I know that you said this is mandatory, but I would... Cairns, Dr. Lackland. Subject. Warner, researcher. Lee. Welcome to the project. Body, thank you for the consideration, but I don't understand why we should consider this as a bad thing. As a centrist, I see... Oh, finally a voice of reason. Moose, Director Till. Lackland is shitting with me. Lackland is shitting me, right? I need you to tell me I'm being... Plus 31 other messages, which we will not be reading, and unfortunately not here. On June 16th, 2015, as Foundation assets were preparing to make contact with and provide discrete resources to a potential Trump election committee, Donald Trump announced his candidacy for the United States presidency. Project Whirlwind then dispatched operatives to various state legislatures and international intelligence communities. Additionally, it was decided that if the candidate's polling was not sufficient by the beginning of 2016, Foundation AIC complexes would be utilized alongside the Department of Information Control and Suppression and the Department of Applied Influence to aggressively campaign for the candidate. Phone call transcript, cell phone of Sophia Light. Speakers, Sophia Light and Sasha Merlot. This is Sophia. Director Sasha. Oh, good. Hold on. Hang on. Just going through some notes. What do you have? So that ambassador, right, Kislak, we arranged a meeting with him, like Dan and I did, after dinner the other night, when... Dan Navarro in the background. We just tell her we can't waste time. Yes, fine. Sorry. Someone got in first. What? Exactly. That's what we said. There's this guy here already, an American general, sipping cocktails and the whole... It was Michael Flynn, Director. Mike Flynn was here. What was he doing there? I think he got here before us. I mean, I'm telling you, Director, it's the wildest thing. They were going over all the things we were going to talk about, the sanctions and everything else. Did he recognize either of you? No, I don't think he realized we were there. He was pretty intoxicated and... He was naked. The guy was naked. Everything was hanging out there, whole hog and everything. And there were women too, but they weren't naked, only general. It was so fucking wild. He was indisposed. I don't know what to make of this. So, did you get a chance to talk with Ambassador? I mean, thought of? Only the months that he recognized we were there, but every time we tried and bring up the election, he just sort of laugh and point to Flynn, and they both laugh and they drink some more. It was really fucking weird. I could barely get a word in edgewise. Oh, right. So, are we good? I think so. Merlin back. I'm sorry, wrong one. This is, you know what? Fine. Lists for everyone. His whole time to lay out the whole world in fear like the man Max here over here. SCP Foundation Internal Messaging System. To Light Sophia from Banner Garrett IC&S. Subject WW Update 10.6.16. Hey boss, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to review something with you before we go forward with it, as has been the case with a lot of this so far. While we have something ready to mitigate this Access Hollywood thing, I'm not sure you're going to want to. I know this sounds crazy, and believe me, that I feel like a crazy person telling you, but we just ran this past Applied Influence, and the polling shows this actually helps our chances. I know we've been speculating, but we're really starting to think there must be something else going on here. Are you sure we're not seeing any other anomalous effects coming from the candidate? Because this sort of thing should kill a candidate with any sort of reasonable person, but for some reason it just isn't. We can still run cover if you want, but I've been asked to advise you not to. We have a better chance of this thing working in our favor if we just let it play out, just like we have with everything else. Up to you. Let me know how you'd like to proceed. Yes, I'm aware, TW. I'm aware. I'm aware, TW. There's a little cursor here that marks roughly where I am in the file, and I'm aware. But I accepted it. Snoopy requested it first. And I have to say, it has been hilarious because it can be interpreted in so many ways I'm pretty sure the authors wouldn't want to be. So it kind of makes it the SP file of the Barbie movie. SP Foundation Internal Messaging System to Lightsphere from Banner Garrett. Subject WW Update 10.17.16. Good call, I guess. Does this feel weird to you? Foundational Messaging System padding from Pathos Crow to Sophia. Hello, Sophia. Sorry, thanks to message. Lachlan is here and talking about reaping the whirlwind and is laughing at me for not understanding what a golden shower is. Can you shed some light on this? He says it's going to be useful to my research, but won't tell me what it is. Thank you. Okay. Voice will transmit. I really like the fact they referenced the 4chan hoax that got unironically included into the Steele dossier that then got reported as authentic, even though it was complete bullshit. Nice of them to stick that in there, stressing the people put it in there were stupid enough to buy it. But as I said, this is the SCP version of the Barbie movie. It's gorgeous. It's well worth going to overtime as Snoopy S100. Absolutely. This might be one of my favorites. It just needs to stick the landing. Voicemail transcript. Cell phone of Sophia Light. Caller. Agent Sasha Merlo. Hey, Dr. Light, it's no problem. I was spotted. The guy about the hacking thing. Turns out they'd already done it. Way before we got here. Has been happening a lot. It feels like everywhere I go, someone's been there first. Anyway, it's that snake Roger Stone. He knows at least one of my aliases from an unrelated thing. I don't know if he recognized me, but he definitely saw me. I'm hoping my cover isn't blown over something as stupid as this. I didn't even get to do anything. I'm sorry, I'm sort of freaking out. I'm just trying to extract by the 23rd. I spent too much time over here. Sorry! Addendum 5004.5, United States Presidential Election of 2016. On November 8, 2016, SCP-5004-B defeated its opponent, Democrat Hillary Clinton, in a surprise upset victory for the United States and the United States Electoral College. The following are a series of communications that took place shortly after the results were announced that night between various individuals and Project Whirlwind Director Sophia Light. From the cell phone of Sophia Light, caller Dr. Catherine Sinclair. Congratulations, I guess. I received a call from Justice Roberts. They're preparing the necessary rituals. We're in the home stretch now. Call me when you can. From the cell phone of Sophia Light, caller Autoclev. Good job. Glad it wasn't me. I didn't announce this before, but I'm going to take an extended vacation to Italy for a while. Got some reading catch up on. Yeah, that's a disappointing characterization of Autoclev. What a coward. Really embarrassing behavior for Autoclev. From the cell phone of Sophia Light, caller Dr. Lachlan Cairns. 23 seconds of silence. Well, fuck. 16 seconds of silence, call disconnects. Which is quite the twist from Cairns, because Cairns should have been, I would say around 39 seconds of insane laughter. It's worked so well prior, and really should have been the case here as well. Yes. Truly, they are just retelling the story of how a terrible evil was barred from power. And hopefully will be arrested. Finally. For the many crimes. The ones very commonly known about. And the many suicides that are never properly addressed. Caller, researcher, Liam Warner. Congratulations, Director Light. This is fantastic. A great step forward for both our organization and the United States as a whole. It's been an honor to serve this mission with you, not just as a researcher, but also as a patriot. While I've got you on the phone, can you tell me why everyone seems to be so upset about this? As a centrist, I find it really important to see issues from both call disconnects. Yeah, apparently we're supposed to despise Liam Warner for this, for being a centrist. I don't think whenever centrists are attacked, whoever's attacking them has ever really been on the right side of things. Voicemail transcript. Cell phone of Sophia Light. Caller, Charles Gears. King tells me you're in a bad place. You shouldn't be upset. This is a great success. The Foundation's mission is to preserve and protect. We don't necessarily need to enjoy it. Done well. But of course, more work to be done. Give me a call when available. From Sophia Light. Caller Simon Glass. One moment. Sorry, hi, this is Sophia. Hello? Sophia! It's Simon! Good evening! Oh, Simon. God, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about... No apology necessary. I know you've had a busy night. Yeah, I just... sorry. It's okay. I can call later if you'd like. No, please, no, it's fine. Let me just... Are you alone? Yes, of course. I've been in that command center all goddamn day. I just need to step out for a moment. I'm just so sick and tired of looking at CNN, Fox, MSNBC, 538, whoever. Elections can be a lot. Especially this one. Especially this one. But it's so now, right? You've completed what you were setting out to do. Sophia? Yes, sorry. Yeah, this is the result we're hoping for. Definitely this solves a lot of our problems. So, what's on your mind? What do you mean? I mean, we haven't spoken in a while. Something has to be bothering you. Simon, I don't... Don't worry. This is literally my job. I get it. I'm happy to help. What's on your mind? Do you know how many agents we had out in the field for Project Whirlwind? A few dozen? 160. One of Western Command's biggest operations in its existence, we mobilized the full force of misinformation applied force RISA on the hopes of making the least electable candidate in modern American politics somehow more palatable to the voters' appetite. And we didn't even need to. Huh? What do you mean? Every step of the way, when we were trying to purposely corrupt the American political sphere, there was somebody already there. Someone with a foot already on the gas. Our potential grassroots campaigns in swing states, we didn't need them. They sprung up on their own. Demonstrations, the covert operations, the under-the-table deals, all of it. What are you saying? We didn't accomplish anything here, Sam. We rolled out one of the largest influence campaigns and achieved nothing. Today's result happens even if we'd stayed out of it completely. Oh, that means... yeah. Well, I guess at the end of the day, what's done's done, right? We did what we needed to do. Now we can let the justices and Sinclair's group take it from here. Yeah, at least it's done. Look, I've got a really nice bottle of Marchese de Barolo Arnese I'm holding on to, some sort of victory celebration, but I can have it sent over to you if you like. I feel like you might need it more than me. Yeah, that actually sounds nice. Bring it with you when you come over. You sure? Yeah. Lack is camped out in my living room right now, half unconscious and throwing cold French fries at the TV and shouting about how grateful he is that Bush is going to look great by comparison. Yeah, that's another one of the list of things that did not happen. Class. You got it! I'll be right over! Addendum 5004.6, containment of SCP-5004. On January 20th, 2017, SCP-5004-B was inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States. During the inauguration, which was scarcely attended... Oh, they do like historical revisionism, don't they? Personnel on site at the time believed this was due to internal attempt to mitigate civilian exposure in the event that SCP-5004-A could not be contained. However, no such attempt appears to have been recorded. Yeah, that's a straight-up lie. I'm sorry. An artist's reinterpretation of the events that actually happened in the context of this unbiased fictional story. Foundation thaumatologists, as well as the three remaining members of the Metaphysical Club, confirmed that SCP-5004-A did begin to manifest in the baseline universe. However, as expected, the entity was immediately affected by SCP-5004-B, which reduced SCP-5004-A's size considerably, likely as a defense mechanism against SCP-5004-B. The entity, now visible in infrared, but otherwise invisible and intangible, came to rest above the head of SCP-5004-B, where it stayed, curled into a tight fetal position, roughly 2 meters in diameter. No, I don't think this is unbiased, in truth now. I think there have been a few tales here, but again, it's the SB equivalent of the Barbie film. It belongs in a museum. Here we have Ruth Bader Ginsburg channeling powerful magic during the inauguration of SCP-5004-B. Phone call transcript from the Sophia Light's cell phone from John Roberts. This is John. This is Roberts. This is Agent Halogen. The director. We've heard all about you. I'm sure. Are we good? In general or regarding our friend? Yes, Corman. Justice Ginsburg assures us that he has reduced... Ruth Ginsburg in the background. I could have smote him, Jonathan! Throttled his vital demon neck with these powerful claws! There's no demon that can stand against me! Reduced, one moment. Ruth, please, I'm trying to... Just wait, Jonathan, you just wait! One of these days you're going to require my great and terrible power, and you'll have squandered it on politics! Sorry, yes. Everything seems to be fine. We'll continue to monitor the situation in Washington and report back to agents with any updates. All right. Thanks again for your help. You and your colleagues have been invaluable to our efforts. Ginsburg, in the background. Stephen, I swear to God, give me my hat back, or I'm going to come over there and do some real wizard shit to you! Roberts. Yes, invaluable. Thanks again for calling, Director. Addendum 5004.7. Appointment of the Special Prosecutor. In May of 2017, following SCP-5004-B's dismissal of FBI Director James Comey, that Weasley piece of shit, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein appointed former FBI Director Robert Mueller to assume responsibility for the organization's probe into whether the Trump campaign conspired with the Russian government to subvert the 2016 election, which we might all recall was a complete fabrication by previous administrations, and accountability is swiftly coming in on that. But in Fantasyland, this happened. Rob Mueller to assume responsibility for the organization's probe into whether the Trump campaign conspired with the Russian government to subvert the 2016 election. Shortly after this, Diane French, a Foundation liaison within the FBI's Unusual Incidents Unit, was contacted by Agent Carmen Maldonado, an appointed UIU contact, who relayed information concerning the upcoming investigation. French and Maldonado. Alright, hang me up. Okay, it's on. Let's hear it. Wait, I need to know something. What? Did you interfere with the election? What? We would never, ever. What would ever make you think that? I know. You have been handling the Spirit Prime. Some others do
User
too.
Director Arketer.
Yes?
Chats buzzing about politics, with Snoopy SN and JTRW discussing past votes for Trump and their views on law, order, and FBI actions. Mina the Wild Mongoose is challenging bias, sparking debate.
Thank you. I know that you all have been handling Spirit Prime. Some others do too. The UIU can keep its mouth shut, but there are other elements at play here, Diane. I need to know if you were involved. I mean, not really. What? What does not really mean? Look, alright, I wasn't part of that group, but maybe there was some stuff going on. I don't know if any of it ended up making a difference, but I sort of got the feeling that what happened was kind of a foregone conclusion. Oh, shit. What? Why? What's wrong? You said the UIU can keep a secret. Yes, we will, but there's oh shit. There's the what? The Deputy Attorney General has appointed a special prosecutor. This thing is going critical, and if any of you have had your hands in this thing, they've got to. Oh, gee, yes, Carmen, that's so. Why would you try and get me up? It's Mueller, Diane. Robert Mueller is a special prosecutor. Oh, shit. Addendum 5004.8, phone call, tip by an unknown agent. UIU Agent Maldonado was able to provide a transcript of a voicemail left on an FBI answering machine, which appears to tip off agents and special prosecutor to actions taken by Foundation agents. The phone call, which originated from a payphone in an abandoned Pennsylvania mall, lasts for approximately 20 seconds. The caller does not appear to have ever been holding the phone to the mouth, and instead seems to be shouting at the phone from a short distance. Voicemail transcript, FBI answering machine, caller unknown. Warmest compatible stations upon your lawns, cat! It's me, fail of agentries of the flam bam minter slam like self yours mayhaps. Any muse? It am news. Dans l'orange de la trompeter swange is not only cat repertoire melange mitters are, but in the bourgeois surrounded, but yonder SCP from du Potsdam scribbles. Suggest a stem. flood of traps they threw the Interkex, and he gored promptly upon her, Dr. Rodenstein. For he unveiled the unprettied. But no! The me must execute, foremost still having inquired being, the Noseum Covenant hath bondaged my James, and muffined my puffined. The bandersnatches smirch my even eatery, spindle strap and so fleet ways, I quiet like unintelligible from volume encloser. Cack and toot and gag several melee karmic companies, these way. Silence. The sound of several keys being dialed. Salutations, hot on the peats, oranges thusly, 1XX and LA strangle fruit. Lovers, Stiffnick Ruffin, home the grackle grapes, and cack, amid Pete's heats. Oh, ca! Call disconnects. The payphone was later found to have been disgraded by a powerful sonic force. Phone call transcript, cell phone of Sophia Light. With Mueller. Oh, no, the UI Cupertine. Sorry. Too soon to do another similarly incompetent voice. Right. UI Director Cupertine. Cupertine speaking. It's Sophia. Oh, fuck. Yeah, oh, fuck. Now, Sophia, just calm down. Calm down! Calm down! Do you know how far past my fucking tits I am in this thing now, Cooper? You remember when I say you're down for the whole operations we were planning were out? But due to the unraveling this country's collective moral fabric, I had no need to? Do you remember when I told you that we didn't have any hands in what happened and showed you all that evidence to support that? Well, yes, Sophia, I do remember that, but... And I need to tell you why I'm getting all these calls about my goddamn agents being tracked down by the fucking feds. We are trying to run a massive multinational clandestine group pursuing operations over here, Cooper. And I have a god fucking time doing that. And my guys have to look at their shoulders every time there's so much to stop to take a shit. Dr. Light can't even. Okay, now listen. We did warn you that now is a very sensitive time to be mucking about with elections. And I remember you being told very specifically not to. How the fuck are you not getting this yet, you blistering asinine assfish? Anything. We wanted to. We need to influence the elections so that we could take every existential threat that you've apparently known about for some time and refuse to do anything about, but sit back and wait for an auctioneering judge to flatten half of the capital process of doing a job. But even for all that, we didn't need to, Cooper. So we didn't. We didn't do it. I told you, each of you out of the way, we didn't do shit. So why am I now hearing that you're getting subpoenas and being trailed by black vans, and I want to know what you want me to do? Look, it's not my fault. The Attorney General's office could have selected anyone. The ones who decided to call upon perhaps the greatest investigatory mind of the generation. They're the ones who decided to call upon Chris. Mueller, greatest investigatory mind of the generation. The walls were closing in, as you recall. They had the smoking gun. Cooper, listen, I listen very, very closely. We know of at least one occasion where one of our agents was possibly recognized by someone. Maybe there were some situations where someone left a fingerprint where there shouldn't have been. These things happen, Cooper. What do I need to do to make this go away? Because if I can't make it go away, and they start to dig up some other stuff, then we're all fucked. I mean, do you have that piss tape? Cooper? What? That would definitely so. And nobody can seem to find it, because it doesn't exist, you idiots! Look, your guys are getting involved because they were hanging out with the Russians, and if they get some of them to squeal, they might give something up. Sounds to me like you need to start doing some brain blasting or mind melting or cranium calibration, or whatever you call it, with the needles and the drugs. Your idea is to amnesticize every Russian our agents have encountered over the last 2 years. we'd have to head out from Moscow. Look, honestly, Sophia, I don't know what to tell you. Everyone is tied up in this thing right now. I mean, he could just as easily start digging into some of our stuff and turn up some things that we don't want people to see. And you want my honest advice? Go do a little schmoozing with the, what's her name? The blonde with the crazy eyes. Ann Coulter? Nope. Tommy Lauren? Nope. Laura Ingram? Nope. Lindsey Graham? Nope. Kellyanne Conway? That's the one! Her or the president's daughter or something. I'm not saying they can take some of the heat off of this for you, but you'd be shocked how many bodies they've been able to hide under the rug already. I mean, it's like a goddamn cemetery in there, Sophia. That's really dumb, Cooper. Which daughter? What do you mean, which daughter? Which one do you think is running all this shit? Ivanka. Ding, ding, ding. Just get in the room with her and her dad. Bring them a fucking, I don't know, a KFC big bucket of greasy shit he likes. And remember, explain that you're from whatever front company you have set up for this. Maybe you were aiding a campaign and just want to make sure you're okay. This is fucking stupid! Yeah, well, welcome to post-goddamn Truth America, Sophia. This is just what we do here. Now, make sure you get some of those biscuits, too. Big boy loves his biskies. After this conversation, Foundation assets within the United States federal government arranged a meeting between leadership of a newly formed special committee regarding Robert Mueller's investigation, Director Sophia Light, senior researcher Mark Kiryu, Dr. Lachlan Cairns, and the body of a recently deceased 85-year-old female, and Dr. Kane Pathos Crow, and the president and his family. The four were posing as a wealthy foreign family and their dog, Dr. Crow, who was equipped with a number of concealed listening devices. They developed a complex series of barks, whimpers, and other dog-based actions used to communicate with the rest of the team. Footnote. It is now known that none of the other members of the team had acquainted themselves with the system prior to the meeting. In attendance, Dr. Sophia Light, Dr. Kane Pathos Crow, Lachlan Cairns, Kiryu, Donald J. Trump, Melania Trump, Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Derek Trump. So, here we are about to get into something that, had it been written any earlier, would probably have found its way into the Steele dossier.
User Director Arketer. Chat's getting quirky with JTRW and Snoopy SN discussing macaroni noises and Bigfoot humor. They've shifted from serious topics to lighthearted, oddball chatter.
No, I'm pretty sure it's always been lighthearted, oddball chatter. 58. Recording begins. Light. Welcoming us to your home, Mr. President and Mrs. President Ivanka Trump. You are certainly welcome here, Mr. and Mrs. Dr. Kiryu. Strelnikov. Yes, we are proud Russian family, me and my wife and this old man. My grandfather and our dog. I can't do a proper good Donald Trump impression, so you just gotta bear with this one. Mellow to bride, say no more. Well, welcome to the White House, dumb arigato, amigo. Let's eat. Dr. Light? Yes, let's do that. As you can see, we've brought for you only the finest American takeout cuisine. McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. Did you get biscuits? Yes. Did you get biscuits? And gravy, Dad. Did they get gravy? Now, calm down there, buddy. Looks like a big old bag of biscuits right in there. Oh, good. I like biscuits. He has good taste. This is my son, Eric. He likes biscuits. Yes. The group sits and begins to eat. Ivanka Trump. So, Miss Strelnikov, our mutual friend tells us that your family may have had some discreet dealings that we should discuss. Donald Trump. Yes, yes, dealings. Anyone who is a friend of Russia, or the Russia of those of you, the Russians, are good friends of ours. They're running for Trump and he sounds like Biden. What a tell. Dr. Kuryu. Yes, our family owns some businesses, and some of our employees may have possibly been meeting with some people from your campaign. Donald Trump. Yes, a very successful campaign, the most successful in history, in fact. A friend of the campaign is a friend of the Russians, is a friend of mine. Ivanka Trump. Agreed, Daddy. Well, we are happy to offer our thanks and acquired federal resources to anyone who made efforts to get us here. What are you looking for? Yeah, they would put this in the dossier if it had been written prior to the election. Because it's dumb. This is really, really dumb. Just really extraordinary piece of work here. What a find. Because apparently it's a dog. They've got really a bit with the door here. By the way, we've been at this for another half hour, possibly till shutdown time. I could probably use a reminder to who signed up for the raffle thus far. I'll play the trailer again at the end of this one before I do the roll. I know Mila Mongoose is in. I know Nexus Hunter is in. Was anyone else entering for Damon X Machina? Please chime in if you want. Let's get through this incredibly ridiculous meta farce. It is a farce of the farce. It's self-satire. Right. Ivanka Trump. We did that. Light. We aren't looking for final compensation, Mrs. Trump. We're more concerned about the pressure we're getting from the special prosecutor. Donald Trump. You mean crooked Hillary, Brian, Chuck, and Slippery James Gummy's witch hunt? Donald Trump Jr. It's such a witch hunt, Daddy. Eric Trump. Yes, witch hunt, Daddy. Unfair. Ivanka Trump. Witch hunt, Daddy. Yes. M. Trump. Is witch hunt. Dr. Light. Yes, it is certainly something. We just want to make sure that our assets aren't exposed, if you catch my drift. Dr. Cairns. My son says I shouldn't expose my assets because the president might want to grab them. Dr. Crow. Panicked barking. Donald Trump. No, actually, you're very old. Might have been beautiful once, but not now. Reminds me too much of myself. Now, if you were young, beautiful, and no, like my own daughter, if she wasn't my daughter, who knows? You never know. I know, but most people don't know most people. I wouldn't say some people would, but beauty is in the eye of, it's in the eye of the beholder, and I'm beholding you very old like a mirror, really not. Did these people get jobs as Biden speechwriters? Okay, Jared is in the raffle as well with K. Shaw. I'll try to have to remember the order. But whatever the order, whoever gets close to 100 wins, so there shouldn't be an issue regardless. Dr. Light interrupting. We just want to know what we can do to take some of the heat off. The special prosecutor is already starting to come to some of our people and ask questions that none of us want answered. Do you understand? Which, by the way, the SCP Foundation is ostensibly terrified of the FBI in this. Clearly, we are dealing with one of the most idiotic and inept Foundation instances in SCP history. Ivanka Trump. We certainly understand. I think we can see to it that some of their investigative assets are preoccupied. Eric Trump. That's me! Ivanka Trump. Didn't your business partner have a little oopsie last summer? You know, the one you helped cover up? Eric Trump. Yes, he ran over a hooker with his car. I helped bury the body. Cairns? What the fuck? Ivanka Trump. Okay, well, I need you to accidentally send those texts you sent to him that night to Mrs. Pelosi. All right? Eric Trump. But Dad says Pelosi is a shrieking goblin vagina. What, you're going to give Trump grief for being correct? No. Your own crude caricature of Trump? You're going to...
User
suggest he's
Director
wrong?
Arcater. Chats buzzing with weather jokes by JTRW.
By
A
staying in
Deus Ex
prison?
game query. And a raffle interest. Mina the wild mongoose loves giant robots, while Snoopy's dealing with disappearing messages. Lots of humor and randomness.
Indeed. Although, I should want to stress that I am of the opinion that Pelosi is a shrieking goblin vagina. Also hideously corrupt. So corrupt that they launched an entire trading company that just mirrors their insider information trades. Unusual Whales. Or Nancy Pelosi's stock tracker. Bit of a da-da-da-da before we continue. Donald Trump. Son, let's be reasonable. I said slobbering goblin vagina. Well, clearly now he's wrong, because that beach is dry. Desiccated. Clearly shriveled. Basically a walking human raisin. Eric Trump. Sorry, Dad! Ivanka Trump. I know, but we need to let some ballast out, okay? Can you do that for me? Eric Trump. Okay, but I dropped my phone in the toilet earlier, so I guess I need to go get it! Stands and grabs 2 more cheeseburgers before leaving. Donald Trump Jr. He's a good guy, old Eric. M. Trump. He is guy. Donald Trump. So, Kimosabe, what business are you in? Property, oil, coal. Here you go. We are in a nuclear what? Donald Trump. That's great. Nuclear, it's great. Not the best, not the maybe top 5, top 4. My uncle, you know, great physicist, MIT Dr. John Trump, very wise. He told me he was a great chemist. He said nuclear. It's great, many applications, like coal, but coal is in the ground and nuclear is in space. But he said the power, you wonder why we even try it with a nuclear since it's in space, but we can do it. Okay, you know what? I'll try this again. That's great. It's great nuclear, but not the best. Like maybe top 5, man. Top 4, my guy. You know, like my uncle. You know, great physicist, MIT Dr. John Trump, very wise. He told me, like, yeah, come on, man. He was a great chemist. He said nuclear. It's like it's got many applications, like coal, but coal is in the ground, and nuclear is like in space, man. And he said the power, and you wonder why even try it with nuclear since it's in space, but, you know, but we can do it, they tell me, and it's this kind of power that you, come on, man. My uncle, he said, very smart, big brain, good genes, Trump genes, very successful. He said that the space is really the final frontier, and come on, man. He said that, you know, Uncle John Trump is very smart in the space final frontier, but we have this coal here on the ground, man, and maybe the ground is our final frontier. That's something they can, it's like the ground is the final frontier with the coal, because space, you know, is so far away from nuclear and the Persians and corn pop and these got hairy legs, and China, you know, is ping pong, man. Let them figure out space, and we can get it right here, and not nuclear, but coal here in America, and no lost jobs, and just put workers in the ground, so it's expensive, you know. Sending people to space is a bad deal. I agree. Good. Smart. Come on, man. Very smart like me. I was smart as me. Smart. It's good enough shine there. No? Come on, man. Cairns. I just shit my pants. What? I shit my pants. Crow, frantic barking, light. Ah yes, we should be going. It appears as if my elderly mother has soiled herself. Donald Trump? It's fine. I normally have to pay extra for that, man. Come on. Got hairy legs. Karen's. Daughter, I'm about to shit myself again. Kiryu? Thank you for all the hospitality. We really do appreciate it. Like, hang on, Mr. President, before we go, just to ask, how have you been feeling recently? What with everything that's been going on? Karen's. Daughter, I am squeezing shit out of my ass as we speak. Can we go? Donald Trump. Me? Come on. I'm fine. Healthy, strong health. Very big and strong. Powerful grip. Hairy legs. Come on, man. Big hands. Strong, healthy. I'm a little tired, though probably from all the winning. Built the greatest election fraud organization in American history. I mean, hairy legs. The winning takes it all out of you. Feel like there's something I don't know. Like it's just weight. It's been incredible. They call me like chosen one, you know. And come on, man, it's a burden. It's a responsibility. And it feels like something hanging over you, like a winter of death and misery for the unvaccinated, man. Interesting. All right, thanks again for your help. Ivanka Trump. Anytime, feel free to let us know anytime you want to come over or make, donations to our organization. Maybe next time you'll come with a daughter, less likely to shit herself. Bitch, I will fucking... Crow loud barking. Donald Trump. Who let this? I mean, it's a dog, but it's inside. A dog inside. Who opened the door for this? I assume it's a dog. It's coming inside. It's got hairy legs too, man. Get it out. It's a dog, right? Get out. It's a dog, all right, man. Come on. All right, time to go. Bye-bye, Pooch. Let's go. Nice to meet you, Mr. Vodka Miyagi. Yes, that's... Not in the script of this SCP file, but he did verbatim say that his campaign had assembled the greatest voter fraud organization in history because, strictly speaking, in some ways, Biden was one of the most honest presidents to hold office, mostly because he couldn't remember what he's supposed to be lying about. And for it, he won cancer. Objectively, untreated cancer that they buried. Along with his crackheaded son's laptop. Moving on. After this meeting, a region-wide memo was circulated instructing the personnel on how to respond if approached by any member of the Special Prosecutor's investigative team. Various cover stories were assigned to at-risk agents, and concerted effort was made to conceal evidence of possible Foundation involvement with any affiliated individuals during the time and frame in question. Internal audio recording transcript in attendance: Agent Overton, Agent Gentry, and Agent Sasha Merlot. The recording begins. Overton. Good evening. My name is Agent Overton, and this is Agent Gentry. We're investigators with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. You're here because you were linked to possible illegal behavior involving members of a foreign state and officials from the president's election campaign. Now, before we get started, can you give us your name? Troy Lamont? Your name is Troy. It is? I see. Miss Lamont, is it true that you are the residence of Savalier Sibizhnikov while he was hosting campaign officials in contact with WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange? They're gonna throw Assange to the bus too? They would. Yes. And is it true that you were there at the same time as Roger Stone? Yes. Were you involved in illegal activity being hosted at that residence? I was not. Then why were you there? I'm a pith artist. You're what? Pith artist there?
User Director Arcater. The chat's diving into a mix of political humor and conspiracy theories. Mina the Wild Mongoose and Snoopy SN are sharing thoughts on political figures and elections, while Eric Pug adds some sarcasm to the mix.
Not nearly as much as I'm adding. Thank you for the summary. A pith artist, sir. I'm an artist who pisses. I don't know if I understand. Let me spell it out for you. All day I drink, sometimes vodka, sometimes milk, oftentimes water. Then all day long I do not piss. I hold it inside me, waiting until the moment that serendipity strikes me, and then I squat on my canvases. Sometimes it's the ground, sometimes it's the hide of an animal, oftentimes it's people. They lie on their back, and I spell my... All right, that's enough. So you were there to piss on people. I'm very good at it. And you weren't violating campaign laws. It is against campaign laws to piss upon your fellow man? It is not. Then no, I did not. I see. This is certainly not what we expected when we brought you in here. Me neither. I thought you were calling me in to piss on you. We very much were not. I see. Well, the mystery revealed itself at last. I don't know what that's referencing, but all right. Indeed. In any case, if you could please direct me to the nearest latrine, I find myself in fairly dire straits that are going to resolve themselves quickly one way or the other. Recording ends. So basically, this Virgin Foundation is in the process of falsifying a piss tape that can be false, that was already imaginary to begin with. This is extraordinary. This is just amazing. This is a work of art tattling upon the artists. Again, much like the Barbie film. Addendum 5004.10, Unexpected Revelations. On the evening of July 4th, 2019, Group of Interest liaison Justine Everwood received several urgent phone messages from Chief Justice John Roberts concerning SCP-5004-A. After being alerted to the situation, West Regional Director Sophia Light contacted Chief Justice through a secure line to gather more information. Phone call transcript, Sophia Light. It's John Roberts. Hello? This is Hojan. Oh, thank God. It's a disaster. What's happened? Something about Gorman changed recently. We've been monitoring him to see how close we are to seeing him removed from our plane entirely, but Justice Ginsburg has been detecting additional demonic forces at work. We were trying to sleuth out what was happening when disaster struck. The president has been absconded with by dark forces to the Capitol building. Ruth has already left our chambers to go confront this new and powerful foe, and she needs your help. Fucking darling. Do you know anything about who has kidnapped the president? No, only that they must have come from inside the White House. That is frustratingly ominous, John. We need to work on that. Quickly! I'm using my power to create a haze the minds of DC citizens, but I can't hold it forever. I got it. We're on our way. Director Light, as well as Mobile Task Force Gemini 4, Federalist Poppers, flew immediately from their staging site in Norfolk, Virginia, to the United States Capitol building. The assembled team, as well as Agents Navarro and Merlot, met with Chief Justice John Roberts, who broke the arcane seal on the door into the Capitol Rotunda and allowed them to enter. Video recording transcript, Mobile Task Force Gem 4. Enter the Capitol building, lit in dull red light. 4 pedestals are assembled in the center of the chamber, with 4 bodies lying on them. A misshapen form of SCP-5004-A, now barely visible, floats in the air between the bodies. A single figure stands upright, arms outstretched towards the entity. Director Light. Points firearm towards the figure. Freeze, goddammit! Let me see those hands! Mysterious figure. My hand's already up, you filthy peasant. Light. Who the fuck do you think you are calling me a filthy peasant? What sort of witchcraft bullshit is this? Turn around! The mysterious figure pauses, then turns. Their hood falls from their face, and their identity is revealed. Agent Merlot. Tiffany Trump! Oh, shit. All this, and we're still already at 13 likes. I'm getting a cramp from these voices and insane cackling. And that's fine. This has been fine. Everything's fine. This has gone on longer than my experiments. Some of my experiments. Not as long as that is that. Enough whinging, more bullshit. What? Oh shit, there are people here. Ah yes, it is me, Tiffany, greatest demonic sorceress who ever lived! Where in the world did you come from? This is supposed to have been resolved. How did you get here? Me? Well, just the other day I was walking through the White House eating a precious biscuit crumbs my family graciously left me to subsist on, and I passed by my father passed on the couch. Normally I would just pass by, but instead it was like another eye had been opened in my brain and I could see clearly the form of my new daddy. Now, using the might of my dark sorcery he gave me in that moment, I will summon the almighty old Gorman. Then, as thanks for my assistance in bringing him back to the material plane, he will grant me his truly awesome power. You know that if you absorb any part of that thing's essence, you're fucked, right? What? It's your dad, dumbass. Your dad is reality sync. Means demons and shit become less real around him. Hell, even your dark sorcery will become less real around him. But only now, apparently. Only difference is, Gorman is a swollen, powerful, primordial demon, and you're a child. Being that close to him for any amount of time would shred your essence to bits. Wait, hang on. What? How do you know that? What do you think we've been doing this whole time? Why do you think we're here? We've been watching this thing for years. We've known about old Gorman since a while. But Gorman Daddy told me I was the first person ever to see him. Alright, well he lied because he's a demon, that's what they do. Now put the sorcery down, step away from the demon, and let's all go home unscathed. Wait, no. Gorman Daddy wouldn't lie to me. You're the liar. Enough of this dumb shit. Open fire. MTF Gem 4 begins firing Tiffany Trump, but the bullets dissolve upon contact with some sort of anomalous barrier. She turns back toward the pedestals and raises her hands. The bodies of Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric Trump rise in the air. Gorman Daddy, hear my call from the abyss from whence it came to rule over the mortal world. I will call you to this place for your own. Take these souls as sacrifice, and together we will shape the earth to our whims. The 3 bodies begin to glow, floating above SCP-5004-B. SCP-5004-A begins to spin and bulge. Waves of pressure push out from the center of the chamber as all 3 bodies begin moving towards the form of SCP-5004-A. There's a bang in the back room. Navarro. NANI?! They've just kind of dissolved into complete random monkey cheese madness, haven't they? A back door in the rotunda opens, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, adorned in her full wizard regalia and holding a long staff, enters the chamber. The door slams shut behind her and locks. The justice cracks knuckles. So, pancake-faced bitch decides to step, huh? Pancake-faced? What are you calling a bitch, you raggedy hag? You've got one chance, kid. Get up before I start clapping cheeks around here. Excuse me, my duty daddy says I don't listen to anything. Some old bitch has to say, just turn around and walk back in the old folks' home, Granny. I have been waiting for so many years to throw one of these hands at your little guy Gorman there. Now I get the pleasure of packing this dumb blonde into my pipe and smoking her, too! I'd like to see you try, you gangly... A burst of bright violet light erupts from the end of Ginsberg's staff. A bolt of energy arcs across the room and smashes into Tiffany Trump's open hand. Before he flying reflected up in the ceiling, Trump turns to stare at the Justice, wide-eyed. Let's fucking go, you're after that! Additional bolts of light, voice, valid energy, blah blah, straight towards Tiffany Trump at the end of Justice Ginsberg's dick. Trump encounters dark red tendrils of red surging energy that whip around the Justice, striking him against violence, somethings that manifest around Ginsberg. The two continue on for some time, and yeah, no one really cares. Except for the fact that we are now, at this inauspicious moment, a success! Thank you for making the stream a success. It really feels like it should be after all this. And I've been waiting for the raffle of the game. The end is in sight. Like many leftist memes, it doesn't know when to end. Light to MTF Gem 4. What are you all standing around looking for? Go grab those bodies! Members of Mobile Task Force approach the center of the room. Tiffany Trump notices this and turns back to the glowing bodies. Come in, Daddy! Take me as well! Bring us to attention, Daddy! There's a flash of red light and loud droning sound. All recording equipment momentarily cuts out. Shortly afterwards, cameras reactivate. Like when Epstein didn't kill himself. Standing on one side of the room is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, eyes glowing white. Across from her, through the dust and haze and levitating 3 meters off the ground, is a colossal, 3-headed, vaguely humanoid entity with legs of a horse, the torso of an extremely obese man, 4 arms with small hands at their ends, and 3 long human-adjacent necks, ending at the tortured heads of Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric Trump, each of which bellows in agony. In the center of the chest is a face with bulging lips, sunken red eyes, and a grotesque rotten beard like Karl Marx. Because it's basically the spirit of Karl Marx, because these people can't refrain telling themselves. Slow rolling laughter begins to echo across the room from within the demonic hybrid, which itself is buried in red light. SCP-5004-A. Oh, ho, ho, ho! Finally I am free to lay waste to this world! I am Old Gorman, and I am here to be out of that goddamn hole! Excuse you? Excuse me? How about excuse you? One of you has been in a bubble for 100 years, and don't think I come out of there pissed off.
User Director Arcater.
Yes,
the
okay.
chat's buzzing about Piss Goblin and references to a streamer called Salty Cracker. There's a mix of meme-style humor, likes chasing, and some historical commentary on Karl Marx.
Yes, and you'll note that they correctly observe that's historical commentary on Karl Marx, because he is a hateful, childish, grievance-collecting, trust fund babby, grifter, beggar, fraudulent Satanist, basically. Really just one of the worst assholes to ever draw breath and then lose it. Yep. Right. Excuse me, how about excuse you? No, wait, fuck every single one of you. I hope your mouths smells like ass the rest of your lives, which will be short, by the way, because I'm about to take this show on the road. Ginsburg. Like hell you are! SCP-5004-A turns to acknowledge Ginsburg. Oh, how isn't this something? A little magician all dolled up in little robes on the gas here, planning on casting one of the little spells at Old Gorman, yes? Perhaps a little fireball, a little shower of sparks. Ha ha ha. You are small and I'm going to shit on your Brilliant violet light erupts from the end of Ginsburg's dick. SCP-5004-A rears back and away from it, but it all seemingly rooted to the ground by circles of the same violet light that emerged from its 4 legs. The entity shrieks as more violet energy pours out of the staff, forming sharp geodesic lines that arc across the room and shimmer with arcane energy. Suddenly, the sonorous voice of Ruth Bader Ginsburg can be heard across the entire chamber. Old Gorman, for too long your presence on this plane has been a poison that seeps across this city, dragging you up from a pit from whence you came was a mistake, and frankly, Charles Hughes should be ashamed of himself. SCP-5004-A, through screams, agreed! No! Oh, but the power invested in me by Big Ben Franklin's Academy of Wizards and the United States federal government, I hereby demand that you eat my ass! The light intensifies, 5004A squeals, the OSCAP building shakes, all recording devices are deactivated. Addendum 5004.11. Because it was ramblings of madman, but it tells insecure losers everything they want to hear about why they suck. That isn't in fact their fault, it's the fact of anyone who has more than they do. Yes, those are people they're responsible for keeping them low, and that's really all they have to hear. Because they're losers. It's loser for all, sweet for losers, that is. Well, the best thing to say about Marxism and its direct descendant communism is that nothing has done more to kill communists. Communists have killed more communists than any force in world history. If they ever succeed in launching another communist project, they will primarily succeed in killing a crap ton of communists. To be avoided mostly for their sake. It is a religion of spiteful jealousy and envy. Right. Resolution. Finally. Internal audio, recording transcript, recording bins, cairns. So, like, so. So we good now? I mean, yes, I think so. Just Roberts has showed me that Coleman is sealed back in his weakened form. They're expecting this debate sometime in early 2021. Just in time for re-election. Right? And the Trump kids? Well, Justice Ginsburg managed to save Ivanka, Donald Jr. and Eric, but whatever was up to Finney was, there wasn't much left. Fortunately, we were able to find a convincing enough body double to fill in for foreseeable future until we can fake her death or something. Like Epstein, possibly. Again, the only thing we're sure of is that guy didn't kill himself. We can't necessarily trust he's dead. Cats. Sort of a big risk there, isn't it? Replacing a member of such a well-known family like that? You'd think, but it turns out most people never actually knew what Tiffany looked like. Yeah, I guess you're right. So what have we learned? Learned? Yeah. If you were going to take anything away from this, what would it be? Oh! Did I tell you that he told me what covfefe means? Really? What is it? It means misspelled coverage! Which I looked quite recently. I thought it was actually a typo on coffee. But yeah. Note, they leaned on covfefe for several years now. While Biden had, even before he was elected, a gaffe reel longer than the runtime of The Lord of the Rings. But he was cool. To them. I know, pretty mysterious, right? Typo, you dumbasses. All these years. Willful idiocy. Here's a picture of the powerful wizard Ruth Bader Ginsburg stroking off. And, well, it's not even misspelled, it's a typo. Nah, never mind. All quite irrelevant. Most importantly, it's time to finally raffle off this game, and then I can call it an evening. Won't that be nice for me? Thank you all for making this stream a success. I appreciate it, especially considering the pain I'm in many ways. But it was entirely worth it because that thing was hilarious. Again, that was the SCP file equivalent of the Barbie movie. The would-be slanderers mostly made asses of themselves. It is just... It could be condensed a bit. There was a whole lot of stroking off in the last act. This is the game being raffled off, you anyone else who's watching, it's not too late to enter the raffle, but do so by the time this trailer ends. After that, get stuffed, I'm going to start rolling numbers. There's 100. Were you wanting in on this one? Nina the One Mongoose, K. Shoal, Nexus Hunter, and JTRW, I believe. Am I missing anyone? Please remind me now. I've got K. Shoal, Nexus Hunter, Nina the One Mongoose, and JTRW in this raffle. If I do not say your name, tag me in chat ASAP. Box ticket. I do believe Nina Mongoose was first to register.
Smack.
It's raffling time!
Marvelous!
Nope. You know what? Just go away. For me, the One Mongoose. Their number is 1. That makes me rationally angry. Next up, Nexus Hunter, who rolled 48. Next up, K. Shoal, who got 21.
User Director Arcater. Chat's diving into a heated debate on Karl Marx and communism, with some calling it a childish pipe dream. Also, Snoopy SN is mixing humor with current events. There's a game raffle mentioned too.
Thank you, it's present underway. Also, there's no heated debate here. We all agree, pretty much. Karl Marx was just the worst, and his philosophy, which somehow became policy, is steaming tripe, as in just awful. Reeks, smells almost as bad as the man himself used to. No, that's not fair. Strictly speaking, his rotting corpse smells better than communism. I'm pretty sure, especially at this point, he's got to be a bit desiccated by now. He was indeed a vile piece of shit. Just truly disgusting in every way. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he sold his soul just to be extra malignant. I just can't believe communism is being taken seriously again. Okay, sorry, that's 21 for K. Shoal. Next up, JTW, who has rolled 31. I've forgotten what the previous number was. Okay, well, one of you paying attention, who won that raffle? 48. That'd be Nexus Hunter then. Wasn't it? Yes, had to have been. Because Nexus Hunter before JTRW and before JTRW was... JTRW was last, Nexus Hunter was third, K. Shoal was second, and New Mongoose was first, with an incredibly inauspicious one. That's just sad. You know what? In the future, I'm thinking I'm going to make number 1 like an instant reroll. That's just unpleasant. Yes, your number was 1, and it's the highest number that wins, which means it is going to Nexus Hunter. The highest number has always won. This is the first time I've done this. Nexus Hunter has authorized to reroll your 1. Once again, from One Mongoose has rerolled for 30, and Nexus Hunter still gets the key, but what he does with it is he's cool. And with that, we're done. Well, I can see why you thought that, One Mongoose, because to roll a natural 1 is as rare an occasion as rolling a natural 100, which would have guaranteed your win unless someone else had rolled 100 and you had to roll off. But no, it's always been the highest, closest underwood. That's one. If you doubt, feel free to check any raffle prior, which I think you've been here for most of them, which is a bit surprising. In any case, thank you for your request, Snoopy SN 100. That was a very special SCP in the short bus variety, but a sort of golden short bus. That again, see, in the Barbie movie, I thought one of the reasons that was a success is I'm pretty sure some of the people involved in it were self-aware and helped steer in that direction. I'm not sure that was the case here, and I find it very unlikely given the insular nature of certain online communities. I can't really say it's good, but SCP-5004 is a pile of crap that has been gilded. The gold has sealed in the funk, and the net result is odorless and has a bit of a shine to it. But it is still technically a pile of crap. Okay, thank you all for watching. 58, please say goodbye to the audience.
Goodbye everyone, thank you for watching. So long as progress continues, success is inevitable.
Well said. Until next time, what she said. Bye.
User Director Arcater, there's chatter about a game
know.
raffle.
I
It
know.
seems like
We're getting out of here
JTRW
already.
missed
We're
winning
done.
by one spot, and Mina the Wild Mongoose is both amused and slightly disappointed. Also, Snoopy's throwing in some classic humor.
Thank you.